Hello everybody, I have my hand sanitizer, I have my mask. We're going for a walk around Edinburgh for my exercise for today and talk about a wee bit of the updates of where we are in lockdown. It is nice to be out walking about again. Welcome to my exercise for the day. Hope you're all happy and healthy and safe wherever you are in the world. Today is Friday, what's the date? The 19th of June 2020. Today Scotland officially went into phase 2 of releasing lockdown. I'll go through what that is. For those of you who are in Edinburgh or Scotland, you know all this I'm about to talk about, and we'll have a walk about. I'm trying to walk at a decent speed because it's 10 to 1 and I'm not too far from Princes Street. I'm hoping I can get to a decent spot to see the 1 o'clock gun. But if you haven't already, hello, welcome, how are you? If you haven't, please remember to hit that subscribe button. Come join Clan Broonford, it would be great to have you. And in these funny and hard times, we always appreciate you watching and supporting the channel. And if you really want to support the channel, what would mean the world to me, because it's my kind of pet project right now, I've really sort of thrown everything I've got into it, is go check out our Scottish Memories interviews videos with various Scottish personalities. They now come out every Wednesday, and last week's was Gordon Kennedy, this week's was Gordon Kennedy, go check that out. And the next 4 weeks, I have made a few interviews and you're going to love them. Over the course of the next 4 weeks, I have interviewed Gareth Morrison, Zara Janjua, the Boogie in the Morning Breakfast team at Fourth One, and Alan Stewart. All 4 of those interviews were brilliant. I've loved every one of them. I've got some more lining up as well. But, like I said, we're taking a wander. This is my exercise for today. You're actually allowed from the last phase, when we entered phase 1, it's dark. When we entered phase 1 of releasing lockdown, you were allowed to exercise more than your 1 times a day. You're actually allowed to go and exercise and get some fresh air. I think it's as many times as you like now. Now that we have entered phase 2, a few other things have changed. Or are gradually going to change over the course of the remainder of June, to hopefully, at the beginning of July, if all keeps going well, to enter phase 3 of releasing lockdown. But while we take a wander and have a look, I'll talk about them as well. I didn't time this quite right. I'm not quite going to make it to a good viewing spot for the 1 o'clock gun, I don't think. Actually, it's 8 minutes to 1. I might just make it. It's nice to see people wearing masks whenever we're in an indoor area. I just cut through Waverley train station and all the staff are wearing masks. I was wearing my mask when I was in there as well. I went to the outdoors now again. It still worries me when you see people wearing a mask and it's not covering their nose, and you're like, you may as well not wear one. There she is, my castle, looking beautiful. Haven't seen her for a little while. Now you can see Princes Street. This is Waverley Bridge I'm on right now, this road right here. And you can see Princes Street is still closed to traffic. Lights are green, but I'm going to walk anyway because that's the kind of rebel I am. Princes Street Gardens, people are sitting, nice, practicing social distancing, which is good. But you can see all the shops are still closed, but hopefully not for too much longer. So I'll take a wee walk around the new town today a little bit, because I walked around the old town a little bit last time, about what, a month and a half ago. So as of today, for those of you outside of the UK, Scotland, households are allowed to meet in up to 2 households outside, in an outside area, garden, park, something like that, in groups of no more than 8, but it can be up to 2 households. We were allowed to do it up to more than 2 households. We were allowed to do it only 2 households previously, whereas now we can be more than 2 households as long as the amount of people does not exceed 8 and you are practicing social distancing measures. Also with that, we are allowed to go into if you're, say I'm visiting my parents and me and Kirsten go down, we were allowed to sit in the garden and chat to them, but we weren't allowed to go into the house for touching surfaces and things like that, which I tell you, with a 5.5-month pregnant woman saying you can't go in and use the toilet, we had to plan very well just to visit my parents. But now, if we went down, she's allowed to go to the toilet, she's allowed to go in. As long as we disinfect and things like that, she can go into the toilet now, which is nice. So other houses can now see each other. What also is allowed now is extended social bubbles, houses. So say you live on your own, or you're a single parent or someone living on your own with children under 18. You are now allowed to create what's called an extended household, an extended bubble. So you and one other household can essentially, even though you're living in two other households, be technically one household. So a grandparent living on their own can now technically be in the same household as their children and grandchildren. So that can all, even those two households, can be technically now one household. You're only allowed to do that with one household, but it's nice. So at least it starts to break down that loneliness battle that unfortunately some people have been facing. If any of you are in that sort of situation, I hope you're okay. Please know that there are people out there that can, support and help. Don't sit on your own if you're depressed. Reach out to a friend, call them. If you've got a friend out there who is, struggling as well, or is on their own, reach out to them, call them. Just say hi, ask how they're doing. I am almost at the mound, and I have got 2 minutes-ish before the 1 o'clock gun. So hopefully, I should just reach it. I have less than a minute. That's it right in front of us. It should be there. We should see it. I can cross the road without getting run over. I don't know who it is, it always gives me a row, sorry. But we're here, we're safe, and hopefully, if you watch round about where I will zoom into, we'll get the 1 o'clock gun. Just made that by the skin of my teeth. Hope you heard that, because there was an ambulance went past at the exact moment as well. So hopefully you heard that, but the 1 o'clock gun is still firing. See here, these shops are not open. Clark's aren't open. Superdrug is open because it's a chemist. Chemists are allowed to be open. Clark's shoe store is not allowed to be open yet, but you can see the guys are working in there figuring out social distancing. This is what we're getting towards. As of Monday, the 22nd, so this Monday coming, it's mandatory to wear face masks when on any public transport. So right now you don't have to, but as of Monday, if you're on any public transport in Scotland, you must wear face masks. It is also highly recommended, not mandatory, but highly recommended that you wear a face mask where you are anywhere where social distancing is difficult. For example, shops, supermarkets, things like that. It wasn't mandatory before. We always wear our mask. Obviously, Kirsten's classed as high risk with the pregnancy, so we're always very careful with that. But there's a lot of people that don't, and it isn't mandatory yet. From the 29th, which is a week on Monday. Yeah, a week on Monday. Some indoor workplaces, there we go, trams. From the 29th, some indoor workplaces will be allowed to start working. So factories, laboratories, although I hope that labs are open already, trying to figure out how we can, if not vaccinate, at least treat this. Labs, you should have been open. Factories, labs, places like that. But not offices. Offices cannot open yet. On the 29th, a week on Monday, shops are allowed to open. Other public buildings are allowed to open as long as they have an outdoor entrance and exit. So all these shops on Princess Street, which are now shut, will be allowed to open as long as they have an outdoor entrance and exit. In case you're confused by that, what that means is shops inside a mall, for example, won't be allowed to open. But if they're outside, if they've got the ability to have an outdoor entrance and exit, then they can open. Also, they have to allow some sort of space for social distancing and queuing outside the shop as well. things like this so that they can queue outside and make sure that everyone's safe, and how it will work inside the shop. So that'll be why the shoe shop that we just saw will be starting to figure things out. They've got, all these businesses have got just over a week to figure out how they're going to do it, how it's going to work. Because obviously retail, for any economy, retail's huge, and to restart the British economy and the Scottish economy, we've got to get these places open again and figure out how we're going to do it safely. This is just the world we live in now. Let's just get used to it, accept it and do it. It is nice, I have to say, it's nice to be back out in town. So just to be out as an extra bit of exercise for the day is nice. Stretch my legs, see the city, show it to you, show what's happening. Dentists, almost forgot, dentists are opening up again. For emergency stuff only at first, I think, because they haven't been, and there have been horror stories of people doing home dentistry. Look it up, of people in Britain doing home dentistry during lockdown. I think this morning, the TV show this morning had a few of them. It's terrifying. Like people with pliers trying to pull out wisdom teeth. Now, I've had a wisdom tooth taken out. There were 3 dentists taking turns above me, coming and going with pliers, and the other one taking over when it gets tired, when they got tired. This person doing it on their own. Oh, no thank you. Takeaway food has been allowed to be open, so a lot of restaurants and things have figured out how to do takeaway food from their places, but you can see there's still a lot of restaurants and things boarded up. Now this is what's been kind of controversial, well, not controversial, but pubs, hospitality, pubs, restaurants were kind of hoping that they would be allowed to open if they had facility for outdoor seating, beer gardens, things like that. And a lot of pubs in town were starting to facilitate that. Some of them were trying to figure out how to have a beer garden or outdoor seating and things like that, but that has not been allowed. So right now, places like, you know, the Boozy Cow, indoor restaurants cannot open as of yet. So Rose Street will remain mostly shut right now, since it is a lot of, what do you call it? Pubs, restaurants. However, you know what did open yesterday, and it's right in front of me, and I'm hoping that this is one of the ones that have opened up again. Greg's. Apparently Greg's opened up yesterday again. This one isn't open yet. We'll take a walk along Rose Street here, have a look at more of the shops that are shut and hopefully be open soon. Like I said, shops can open soon. It's nice to be wandering about town again. It's odd to be on Rose Street this quiet. It's very similar to a few weeks ago when I went out for exercise and walked up the Royal Mile, to have everything so quiet, so empty. However, like I said, all these shops should be able to open. It really is bizarre to be here. This street, for those of you that know Edinburgh, this is like the Grass Market. This is a hub. So much normally going on, and now it's just a ghost town. Rose Street Theatre Cafe has very cleverly moved themselves to the front of the door here so you can get stuff. I'm actually tempted to buy Kirsten a vegan cinnamon roll and take it home to her. Vegan cinnamon roll for Kirsten from the Rose Street Cafe. One for me and an Iron Brew for me. 3 things. I've not bought a microphone protector for the wind for this new camera yet, so if there's a little bit of wind, I apologise. 2, I inhaled that vegan cinnamon roll. That was delicious. That was so nice. Well done. What was it? Rose Street Cafe, Theatre Cafe. And 3rd, and this is the strange part, I just opened my Iron Brew in the middle of George Street. It echoed. This is the heart of the new town. I opened a can of juice and it echoed around all the buildings. I didn't realise it till it happened, you know what I mean? I went, wow. How can that be loud enough in this day and age to be the thing that's echoing around the building? But you can see everything's still shut here. It's nice that shops are going to be able to open soon, adding a little bit of normality back. This is still a worry for a lot of places, you know, hospitality's being shut, restaurants and, what do you call it, restaurants and pubs still being shut is a hit for a lot of businesses. One of the things that's not being spoke about yet as well is cinemas and theatres. No mention of anything like that from the government or anything. You know, we don't know the timescale of things like that. Obviously, indoor entertainment like that is going to be difficult if we've still got a social distance for a while, and indoor spaces, this virus apparently spreads better than outdoors, so it's going to be difficult. What is worrying is for cinemas and theatres. Sorry, I'm mumbling a little bit. I apologise. I'm starting to ramble. It's nice. It's been a while since I rambled. It's been a while since I went on a ramble. But I don't think I've heard about any protection for these sort of businesses, for all the staff and things like that. And that's thousands upon thousands of members of staff in theatres and cinemas around the country. They're probably going to be one of the last places to open, and right now there's no protection for them as far as I'm aware, for all these staff members. That's a massive hit. At some point I'm sure these conversations will start to be had, but they're not being had yet. I know Cameron McIntosh, the West End producer who owns theatres in London, he said his theatres will not be open till next year. Hopefully there'll be a way to do something for all these places. So places like this, Assembly Rooms, which is theatres, various theatres in there, a couple of spaces and event spaces, they're all kind of left out in the wind right now. Not sure what they're going to do. Hopefully though, this place will start to gently come back to life. The only other update is that at the start of the First Minister's speech yesterday, she did mention at the beginning with tourism, she didn't really go into it, or if she did, the television broadcast ran out of time, so I didn't get to see it. But she did mention at the beginning tourism starting up again in July, but that's all she said. She didn't go into it. For those of you still thinking or hoping to get over to Scotland, and I hope you can, it looks like something might be coming on the horizon in July, but I don't know. At this point, I don't know what. It's still quiet in the city, as you can see. The shops are preparing to open again. People are starting to be able to see more family members. The NHS has done an incredible job around the country. If you are a key worker or work for the NHS, all I can say is thank you. I can see people on the buses right now not wearing masks. But like I said, as of Monday, it's mandatory, you have to, but I'm guessing that's a build-up to the shops being open again as well, people going out and going shopping. But people who work in these places will probably have to start work again from Monday, thankfully, so that they can start to prepare. So I'm guessing that's why that doesn't come until Monday. I think we'll leave it there for today, guys. Hard Rock, still shut behind me there. Some hotels and things I think are starting to open up for people who have to get to work, who maybe have to travel and can't stay home, bit distance. And all building sites they were allowed to open at phase 1, outdoor building sites, and now they've been allowed to take that to the next stage. What that next stage is, I don't know. But yes, I think now we'll leave it there. I hope you've enjoyed that little walk around the new town, as it's still quite quiet, as we ease into phase 2 of releasing the lockdown. Wherever you are, please stay healthy and happy and safe. If you haven't already, please like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe if you don't mind. It would really mean the world, because this is my job right now, and in this difficult time, if you subscribe, it actually really helps us out. So please do subscribe. And please, it's a passion project of mine. Please go check out all the Scottish memory videos. It really would mean the world. But till next time, bye humans.